I'm Hannah Allgood, and I am an ultra trail runner for DinaFit. We are currently in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're training for Black Canyon 100K. We did a 3-day training camp from Meyer all the way to Phoenix, looking at the whole course, and then, just like I said, breaking it up over those 3 days so we can section it off, see what each section feels like, and get through it. Here we are in Prescott, Arizona. Gonna check out the Black Canyon course today. Just the first 19 miles from the start to Bumblebee. 28 degrees, so just like race day probably. We'll see. Just today's a nice, easy kind of beginning section of the course to kind of feel my legs out and hopefully just get used to the turns a little bit, familiarize myself with everything and not get lost. So that's the goal. Woo! Day one was from the start to Bumblebee, so it was the first 19 miles, pretty much all downhill that whole first day. Super cruisy, kind of getting a feel for a little bit of the heat. It was a little bit cooler up in Meyer versus today where we ended, so that was just good to get on the trails, feel the rocky sections out, as well as kind of the horseshoe bends, feeling that out a bit, so. We're at mile 11 and a half. Feel great. Yeah. I feel like I totally get why people just like rip down that, because it feels so smooth and nice, and yeah. Oh, that's great. Whew. Okay. Got all my stuff. Miles. Yeah, I feel great. Definitely very exposed, and I can understand why people get so dehydrated. Right? Time for the grill. Really feels like summer with the grill going. It's great. Fuel for tomorrow. Success. Day two was from Bumblebee all the way to Cottonwood Gulch, so that was a big day. That was about 28 miles total, and so that day was focused on downhill efforts, so pretty much pushed all the downhill efforts and then took it easy on the uphill efforts. It was good because we saw a lot of the river crossings and essentially learning where the other side of the trail goes, because I pretty much got lost every single time. Mainly focusing on pushing the downhills and just a little bit more focus on nutrition, spending a little bit more time in the sun, getting used to being a little bit more exposed. So Ryan will be at a couple of spots for me, mile 5, 12, and 18. So I've got a couple little aid stations to grab some extra water if I need it, but the goal is to be super hydrated, get used to the heat, and push it.
Yeah, he's in blue. His name's Nick. Straight across.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good. Only 22 to go.
Hell yeah. All right, see you in a bit.
Overall, the little dip in the water just broke my ankle, so it's good.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Woo! Tired, but the downhills were good. I took the uphills really easy, got lost in every river crossing, so that was a lot of lessons learned today, and now I need to chug water because it's very spicy out here. So yeah, the second day, that was a big just working on how to run uphill after long downhills, and so that was a really good day. We especially focused on hydration and fueling as well, just getting used to a little bit of the exposure, sun, and just making sure I fuel appropriately, specifically water and hydration. And we're off. We're headed over to Raven to meet a friend, Nick, for some drinks and dinner. We saw him earlier today on the trail, which is really fun to kind of meet him out there and see him a couple times. He helped me one of the times I got lost on the river crossing, so thank goodness for him. So it'll be fun to meet up and get some food. Really need to get some sunglasses for this moment. Cats. Like, oh, I haven't done that for a while.
Totally.
But did you take any time off, or did you just?
No. Well, I had like a 40-mile week was my week off.
And then today was from Cottonwood Gulch basically to the end. We cut off a little bit only because I had to run into Cottonwood Gulch since we couldn't get our car over traversing all the rocks, and so it was about a 16-ish miles, kind of that last section, because I really wanted to see from Cottonwood Gulch to Table Mesa, that final climb, and then from Table Mesa on out. And so yeah, today was a little bit more just seeing those last couple of sections. How do you feel after 2 long days? And felt surprisingly great. Last day. It's really sad. I'm excited for the last day. I'm excited to run the last little bit and then have a rest day tomorrow. They'll be wet in about 2 miles. But yeah, today we've got 15, the shortest day of the weekend, which is not necessarily that short, but feels short compared to 19 and 28. Mostly fun, also business. Okay, keys in there. Whew. Today we're doing pushing on the uphills and then chill everything else for a total of like 30 minutes on the uphill. So pretty much just gonna push the big climb, and then that'll probably be right around where I need to be, and then just easy miles. So watch it set. Off we go. Yeah, so I've pretty much watched every single YouTube video and looked at everyone's Stravas. I think the biggest thing that I learned on the course is really just the bulk of the course, because I have only seen kind of those aid station sections. Really, you can't get a lot of it, and I don't think it really showed the appreciation for the little ups and downs and continually around the bend, and even just the rocky nature of the trail. I just, for some reason, was like, oh, this looks so flowy, so great. And it is flowy, but it's a lot rockier than I think you can see in those videos. So that was key for me. And then also just the exposure in general to the sun. Yes, I know that that's something that you think about with Black Canyon, but I think until you really spend time in it, you can't really appreciate how much it affects your running. And then in general, I think this course, they always talk about the net downhill course, but kind of that first, 19 miles is all pretty much downhill, but then really from there, it's a pretty up and down course where I think I didn't really appreciate how much the first 19 miles could really just hammer your legs, and then you just have no gas. So it was good to see that over the couple of 3 days, see how I was feeling, but those are the big takeaways from this weekend. I'm really grateful for this weekend to have all the lessons that I learned and really bring those in. It got me really stoked for the race. I think before I was primarily just nervous, versus now, like, I feel like I know the key elements. Obviously anything can happen on race day, but I have all the tools to have a really good race. So I'm stoked to leave it all out there on February 18th. Little guy served us well. And it's too soon. See you in three weeks. Ripping across that tape. Or just ripping across, something.